the time we spent all tucked away, holding a glimpse of falsehood quiet. The streets will always be busy when I could pick out some speck of something.
Spoiler alert, this video may ruffle some feathers because what I'm talking about today is eating like a happy person. One of my major goals in my work is to simplify diet because it's not that complicated. But also, more important than diet is health and happiness. And that might sound kind of weird, but people who are so getting into the deep dive on diet can often be unhealthy as a result of their relationship with food, and definitely unhappy with their relationship because of their relationship to food. My goal with my work is to present an argument that says, when you eat like a happy person eats, and eventually do it long enough to become a happy person, it changes the way that you relate to food. Not one time with clients that I've been working with for many years has it been solely about food, their issues. It's mostly their relationship to food, how they're relating to food. It's not that they don't know enough about nutrition. They maybe can learn a little bit, but they generally know enough. It's that their relationship to food is stress-inducing. They're not eating like a happy person eats. Now, is this my opinion of happy person? Yeah, but it's my video. I believe a happy person doesn't think about food all the time. I believe that a happy person eats junk food once in a while. In general, is eating both for pleasure and for health, and sometimes a little overlap of the two. In fact, probably a lot of an overlap of the two. Some food they dig, it's good enough, but also healthy. And then there's French fries and other things that are predominantly in the drug realm for fun. They just don't do it that much. Why? Because they don't freaking need it that much. If you are eating junk food 3 times a day, there is a good chance that you are not a happy person, and that drug is one of your avenues to try to push down and squash and sort of not pay attention to something else that is going on in your life to make you not happy. When you eat like a happy person, your actions when you eat are pretty much the same. Whether you're having some more treat junky food and more healthy food, it's kind of like you're coming at it in the same way, which is to live a happy life. And eating really healthy most of the time delivers you a happy life, and having some junk food delivers you a happy life also. So we can get into the rabbit hole of protein and all that crap that's irrelevant to good living. We can get into the SOS, salt, oil, sugar, militant, I can't have a drop of oil because it's going to kill me. No, it's not going to kill you. Being militant about food can kill you. Look at your life. Learn how to make yourself happy first. Then see how you eat as a happy person. It will change the way you've eaten. Many times with clients, their diets are changing before we even talk about food. Their diets are changing because they're doing things that are non-food related that make themselves happy. Writing, dancing, exercise, sports, fun, whatever. Reading novels, fun novels, not spending time on social media so much. Doing things that are non-food related to make themselves happy, to lower their stress. Then all of a sudden, they're eating a little bit differently. They're not snacking as much. They're not binging as much. They are choosing things that are nourishing and also taste good. They're not so reliant on making food taste the best it has to taste every single time. They are happy people that happen to eat. That is a long-term picture. That is long-term health. That is long-term happiness. When somebody is significantly overweight, they're not happy, most likely. Now, can you be healthy and be a little overweight? Of course. And you can be wildly unhealthy and be thin? Of course. This is a conversation that should, in my opinion, be wholly and solely about health and happiness. Not about what this day and age decides is beautiful, because that's going to change whenever it changes. But if we can make the conversation about how we treat ourselves, how we nourish ourselves, how we manage our stress, how we treat each other, then that's long-term, and that spans across any random subjective idea of what is pretty and what is not, this idea of body positivity. I think it's a missed opportunity to discuss human health and human happiness. How to take care of ourselves to make ourselves happy in our own lives, and see how that changes the world when we know how to do it for ourselves first. That's the conversation. If you're reading diet book after diet book because you can't figure out a way to eat, chances are you knew 10 books ago. And maybe put those things aside for a few days, if not months, and say, what can I do to make myself happy? And eating well may fit in that picture, but it isn't going to be the whole thing. It's not going to be the entire picture. Without that context of making yourself happy, you can get into one of these crazy diets that are so time consuming and life consuming, and you're putting other things that are important to you on hold, and you're not dealing with things that you should be dealing, or that if you did deal with them would make you not need the drug of food so much. It's a tough conversation. It's one that people should be having more often, and we're not, because media and magazines and before and after photos are all about the aesthetic. They're all about so-called beauty and this plus size model and that thin, they shouldn't be this way. And let's talk about health. Let's talk about how we treat each other. Let's talk about how we treat ourselves. Let's have that conversation for a change.
But I spent last night looking through a glaze. I'm covered on switching from me to you, from simple to full, in a roundabout way. For the most part, I can live between